Biggie bag. Alright, think, read. Alrighty. I know. Hey, no. Booster. The cherry cola, their cherry cola is their best flavor ever. Grape soda's fire. This is a rock playlist? Why is this playing? It's literally called Drift Punk. True. No, they need more Drift friends. I'm happy you two can play, literally. I just slammed through my food. Oh, sorry. Alright. Alright, that's ready. That's ready. Alright. Advancing to the race session. Here we go. Welcome everybody out to the Expo Markers 400K. It's the third race of the weekend for the FARCA Premier Series, and we have finally made it to the main event of the weekend after a little bit of a delay. We are ready to go. We have 43 cars ready and set to race. And are you guys ready? Because it's been crazy so far this weekend. All right, so without further ado, let's go over the starting lineup of the field. Let's get the grid up and... It's okay. Thank you. And then right behind him in car number 26, your defending series champion, it's Noed Patwary, and he starts next to number 51, TXS Toyota of Tim Salmon. Everybody's doing the fish.
Car. This is, of course, Dylan Touchton in the RTR, ready to rock. Ford Mustang starts to the inside of the 5. Hendrick Motorsports, HendrickCars.com, DK Motorsports number 5, Chevy SS.
Toyota goodness continues on. It's Nick Fountain in the number 39, and he starts the inside of also former champion Timmy Weathers.
And, of course, they're going to be in front of the 63 Procrastination. That is Brandon Crassa, owner-operator of that race team, starts the inside of Austin Yoakum. Have no idea what that sponsorship is.
We can go over that later. Joseph Inesto, the Team Motorsports also owner-driver, starts to the inside of Jay Langelier, brother of the late Ben Thomas. He'll be starting in the 12th position.
And then we have Andy Bewley. I don't know what Andy's short for, but that's Andy Bewley in the Dutch Brothers Ford Mustang for Rebel Racing to the inside of Connor Meir in the Ghost Toyota Camry.
That is her.
That is our point leader.
It is not like Andy Lynn or anything like that. It's Andy. Dylan Young in the Nesquik Chocolate Milk 19 starts to the inside of Demon Deacon Jones, a driver who has already won a race this season. The Lowe's 28 making another start.
When does spring end? Does anybody know? I sure don't. In the next row, we have the '06 car of Chris Davis. Starts the inside of 72 for John Cittadino. This is the Team Motorsports teammate car to Onesto and a sister car to our outside pole sitter.
And then in the number 40, K&N Chevrolet, that is your reigning Truck Series champion, Eugene Hawk. He starts 19th to the inside of Daniel Quinones in the number 16.
Then we have one of the brightest cars in our field, the 33 of Makoto Kino, now the sole car for Tier 1 Motorsports. Starts to the inside of the 79, the Arby's Loves Toyota out of Justin Osborne. I know who you are.
Commands to fire have been given. We're still going to go through your starting lineup of the race. Right behind them, we have Sammy Cobb in the Elite 77. The Speedco Ford Mustang starts to the inside of Andrew Weisbecker in that purple 41 machine.
Then we have Lizzie Wesley, the inside of Jacob McMillan.
And then it's Quinn Izzo in the number 15, showed a good promise in test sessions. He's got Ryan DeLusso to the outside of him.
Then we have the number 7 car, Brad Hughes, the inside of Rob McPherson.
It was actually Brad Smith. We got the Brad row.
Oh.
And then Rob McPherson.
And then we have the 78 of Rob McPherson, the 82 of Kenny Barbera.
Brett Pritchard, and that number 44, Delia car starts to the inside of Kenny Bambera.
After Bambera, we have Brett Pritchard and Arthur Xavier.
Yep, reading's hard. You're correct. David Walsh starts to the outside of Caitlin Muir.
And then we have the Zack Attack McAdoo to the inside of Rob Kreider.
And then Tom Jones starts next to Greg Graziano.
Jeff Cannon, Elias Nassar, Mariah Douglas, and your field. To the front we go.
Yes, also don't forget that means Travis Dawson and Marissa Miranda are the 2 cars that went home today. All right, front runners field, Aaron Douglas in the number 97 is going to be defending, trying to sweep the 2 series he's participating in this weekend. Did not run the mini stocks. It's our rookie series, but trying to do the first sweep for himself this weekend.
Maybe he should run the mini stocks. Could get a championship finally.
Last year, I know he's an OPS champion.
He said he doesn't want it.
All right, 2 to go, and then we will be lighting this off.
We do have a tie for second in points between Justin Osborne and Aaron Douglas.
Who's our
That's obviously going to be fixed once we drop the green flag. Our winners so far this year are Connor Meir and Demon Deacon Jones.
Toyota and a Chevy. If the things go by the normal FARCA trends, we might see a Ford up front, and no, it's in prime position for that. Lights on the pace car are out. Cars are down into second gear, which means it is time to go racing here at Bristol. Wait for that pace car to drop, then it's up to the 97 and the flag.
All right, pick a car, any car. Here we go. We're racing.
I'm not Brett, but if I was to pick a car right now, honestly, I'm going to go with Eugene Hawk. He may be starting in the middle of the pack, but I think that's going to be a good car to watch out for as this race continues to go on.
I never count out that Canadian there, Austin Yoakum.
I picked Dakota Cottle.
Dakota Cottle. DK?
We have Austin Yoakum working hard on the outside right now, trying to get past the 55 and 69. He's probably gotten on the radio that his team owner's in the booth and rooting him on.
On board with Austin Yoakum.
Trying to push past his 55 car, Timmy Weathers.
But going back to sponsorship on the number 4, Ignition Speed is a newer company following the motorsports scene.
I can't read that.
Yeah,
I guess it says ignition speed.
I also would like to point out with Dylan Touchton there on the inside, this race was dominated by iReal Motorsports. Yoakum had the pole and Touchton won the race. So iReal Motorsports, don't forget about him.
At least these two won.
Or no, I'm sorry, I had that incorrect. Pritchard had the pole. Touchton won the race. We have
Mariah Douglas has already came down pit road.
Yes, number 83.
What damage? Heavy damage on the 83. She's Cohen attacking. Cohen on to.
Yeah, took out the cone.
Yeah, must have gotten into the wall. Not sure where that incident may have happened, but that's going to be a struggling day to start
contact.
83. And indeed that is. Got a battle for the lead
John
going on.
Citadino is hunting the front of the field. Meanwhile, we have a battle for the race lead. Now Pat Wary on Aaron Douglas.
And McAdoo has came down pit road. So I'm guessing he was the other half of that contact.
New race leader Noed Patware, second race leader of the night on lap number 8, takes the lead away from the 97 and now continues to lead on. Who's our biggest gainer of the race, Brad? How's it looking for this opening portion of the race? Brad, you're Brett. You know who you are.
We have a 4-way tie for... Oh, never mind. Brett's the biggest mover, actually.
There's a lot of sevens, up 7 spots.
Brett is up 9.
9 now.
9 positions.
24th.
Now these Fords are looking quick in the early stages of the race. We got more of them popping up inside the top 10. Jay himself trying to make that next position. He's working on
John Citadino
Citadino.
is just moving forward.
Yeah, look,
He
Citadino and Anesto are bumper to bumper, just helping each other get through traffic.
Ernesto said he was going to emphasize on doing better with keeping the cars up throughout the season, and so far that has proved to be true for Team Motorsports. Both cars look strong tonight. Aaron has retaken the lead from Noed Patwary, and Tim Salmon has joined the battle.
That 51 car is hawking the 26 right now. He's going to force his way around on the bottom.
So McAdoo has came back off pit road, back on track, but Mariah Douglas is still on pit road fixing that car. So it's unfortunate for the 83.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Zach McAdoo. Both of these Fords, the Ford and Ford Violence, it looks like it may have been, which is sad considering the performance that they are showing in this early stage, as Toyota is trying to now take that score away from them. Tim Salmon trying to get close to Aaron.
On Citadino is up 12 spots from where he started.
Make that 13.
Now 13. I look for 5th place on the 69. That is Dylan Touchton.
Side by side, these
Touchton's
two are
trying to
battling.
keep grip going on the bottom.
We saw that you can make a lot of attacking moves during the OPS race. These cars have similar pace, albeit a little bit slower. We saw drivers like Paul Newton, a new driver who is new to the series, was running that middle low a lot during the race. He would move up to save some tires, but keep it on attack towards the bottom, and a lot of dive bombs and slide jobs were pulled on corner entry. We'll see how much these cars handle. They are a little bit different.
Like Citadino's going to be able to get 5th.
He's holding on to it. He's got this pack behind him. Ernesto now moving up. I think that was him actually helping Ernesto. He's kind of just taking his team owner along with him as they are steadily moving up the field. So they'll be setting their sights now on Nick Fountain to try and catch up to the Supreme Motorsports number 39 machine, who's running 4th right now. And we're starting to get up and deal with lap traffic. Here's the onboard of the number 97. He's catching up to the back end here. That is going to be Rob Kreider to help you work into it.
44 car has broke the top 20.
So yeah, and actually speaking of Ireal, here's Austin Yoakum now into the 9th position.
Dakota Cottle has lost 5 spots from his initial starting place.
Lockhart has already fallen 25 spots after starting on the front row. That's our biggest loser of the race so far.
That's crazy.
Well, they certainly had 1 lap pace in that car. With a similarly struggling 63 of Brandon Carasta.
Yeah, Krasta, nearly 20 positions dropped for this poor Chevrolet of his. That is going to be a lot for him to try and recover if he's got a car struggling this early on, only 30 laps into this 225 lap race. I gotta hand it to Justin Osborne too. He just cracked the top 10. I'm starting to see a lot of comers and goers, not with our top 2 drivers, but top 3 drivers.
Osborne's going to lose this spot to Jay Langelier, who's kind of settling in here, but definitely going to overpower the 79 for position.
Are we seeing the lines flip throughout the race? Are we seeing the top line becoming the passing lane now?
Oh, you'll see the grip levels change all throughout the race.
I mean,
it's
this
kind
is
of a toss-up on which lane is going, but at that time, the 79 didn't quite get off the corner too well, and you saw the 9 power around him on the outside, but you're going to see 79 fight on the inside.
Battle for the lead going on. It is between Tim Salmon and Aaron Douglas now. Tim has taken the lead from the number 97.
One of the TXS racing cars is just trying to get this team turned back around. Noted their struggles the last couple of weeks.
Didn't they lose manufacturer support? That was one of the big talking points.
Yeah, they did. You see no Toyota logos on this car.
Besides the stamp body stuff.
Mandatory.
Right.
The mandatory stickers. Yeah.
iRacing. Dinkelberg.
All cars are back on track. Ryan Douglas is now 28 laps down, but is...
Wow. And some of you
Right
may
there.
be wondering, why return? Why be back on track if you're that much down? Well, if we have cautions later on and more cars end up getting taken out of this thing, then it's a chance to move up in position. And
there's still 180 some laps to go, so...
why is that so valuable? Because 41st, 42nd, and 43rd award no points and award no... Well, they do award money now, but no points. And that can be crucial by the end of the season. So returning back out on track is going to be crucial for her in case at the end of this race, more cars get taken out. How about Ernesto moving up? Getting around Noed Patwery.
Ernesto has found that middle to higher lane and just has sat there and been chugging along.
On board with a Team Motorsports owner. He's already to the back bumper of Aaron. We might see.
It's all going to matter on how they get through lap traffic better than the 2 in front of him, whether or not he can get to the lead.
Yeah, Brad is really holding up the 51 here, and that's causing issues and stacking all of these leaders up. Because now, yeah, there's even all the way down to 7th is all in this pack because Tim is struggling to get around Brad. Oh, we got trouble behind! That was the 83 car. The Turtle Wax 83 got turned on the front straightaway.
Now, Pat Wary was involved in that accident.
I think Yoakum got a good piece of it as well. So Mariah is continuously taking out the Fords.
The Reckless Racing Fords at that.
Actually, I would think that was a bad call.
No,
on
Pat
spotter
Wary
for
just
Pat Wary, yeah.
Yeah, Pat Wary had a conscious disregard for human life right there.
Oh, Yoakum might have got on the brakes hard
How
enough.
that, and he didn't get hit by Jay either. That would mean no damage to Noah Patwary's car
Yeah,
from that
Mariah's on the
incident.
bullhorn saying that now it's going to drive her to Tylenol.
Oh, that's not what the 83 needed, was more damage.
We
So.
have cars on pit road. That is waiting for this all to get fixed up. That is Nick Fountain, who has come down pit road. I believe he was involved in that incident just a little bit, so he'll come down to take some repairs. And it looks like, depending on this pit stop time, that is a 4-tire pit stop for Nick
So
Fountain.
we had a couple cars come down pit road.
Yeah, Ryan DeLusso. He's on pit road as well, and he's number 2. And
Osborne, a couple Toyotas came down.
everybody looks like they took 4 tires. 4 tires for everybody on pit road. Nick Fountain, Justin Osborne, Jay Langelier, Connor Meir, Chris Davis, and Ryan DeLusso. That was your battle off of pit road.
How many cars pitted?
Intentional, that was about 6 cars that pitted intentionally, and there's cars getting repairs. Citadino still on pit road. Heavy right side
Citadino took a
damage.
big fender shot, so they're gonna have to pull that out so they don't cut tires.
Yeah, that's going to be really unfortunate. They've been on pit road
This
for a
was
minute
a
now.
prime time to pit.
This really was a prime time to pit. Not a bad option. 40 laps in. We saw about lap 54, I believe, was when the leaders first pitted in the Pro Series race. Lights on the pace car out, which means we're going green flag next time around. All right, well, I think my comment still stands. I said that I would expect Brett to go through the field. He's already up 22 positions and into 11th. How about that?
He's actually in 10th. The scoreboard has to
That's
update
correct.
a
You
little
are
bit.
right. So he's already in the top 10. I'm confident with my pick still being a good one.
But Eugene Hawk has also worked his way into top 10, so
There
we'll
he
see
did.
how that goes.
And it looks like Aaron's going to enjoy the outside lane on the restart and take the lead away from Tim Salmon. Ernesto may try and follow right behind him. That he's going to do.
There's going to be damage on the 26 cars, so we're going to have to see how that plays out for now at deep in this run.
Something I noticed that when I was racing the Pro Series race is these tires. Well, I guess this is not the Goodyears, but after you let them cool off, they were immediately ready to be turned back on and raced hard on. So if you take care of your stuff correctly, they can work out for you. I'm really impressed by Ernesto tonight. This is one of the better races he's had.
He
Big
really wanted to
turnaround from the Pro
come back
Series race.
swinging, so
Yeah,
big
he struggled.
turnaround from last season.
That too. Things are looking up if you're Ernesto. Lizzie Wesley, the other procrastination car, starting to go forward, and it looks like Krasta has also figured out a way to get that car to stop going backwards as well. He's making a couple moves here on the outside. He has gained 8 positions on that last caution. He did stay out.
Oh, Eugene Hawk is probably fuming in the car right now, being around the TXS cars.
On board with Eugene Hogg, looking out that back window.
Notably not a fan of TXS racing.
That Salmon has absolutely struggled on this restart. Has gone from the lead to 8th.
Burned his tires off, had to catch the 97.
So yeah, the 44 has fallen back too, but he's also been stuck on the inside line where he's been running the high line.
Yeah, there's definitely lanes
beginning.
are important on this restart, and they're showing.
The 28 car starting to move forward. Last week's winner, Lizzie Leslie, with a big momentum swing off of that corner. That 28 just pushed Quinones deeper into the corner than he wanted to go.
Got him into the marbles, and the 16 had to slow up as a result, which also slowed up the 28, but he's trying to figure out a way around here, but ultimately he might lose a spot.
Kenny Bombera is going to try to find a way to capitalize this in the middle.
3 wide, and he had to check up out of that.
Oh, man. Kenny was going to run over the 16. Kenny should have just stayed in it.
Oh, he is displeased. I think he thought the 28 was the culprit of that. Got to the quarter panel there of Deacon's car.
Kenny's one of the more lighter drivers. You won't really see him make an aggressive move, but that's how he's able to finish so many races. As Sammy Cobb and Deacon Jones are now racing, they get a little close off the corner. Those two don't really ever give each other room. Justin Osborne's coming off the pit road.
Thought we were nearly going to be 3 wide again. That was also looking like Kenny's trying to actually make moves. We're talking about how docile he is as a driver. He's being aggressive tonight, though.
Tim Salmon got tight almost into Lizzie Wesley.
He is absolutely struggling. He's about to fall outside the top 10 here.
Yeah, that car's handling has gone away, and gone away quickly.
Yeah, the 51 looks like he is struggling with a tight condition. It's really crowding the cars on the outside lane.
I think the tall tale sign of that
man.
was when he couldn't pass Brad and the whole field was kind of bunched up around him. He went to the school of Joey Logano blocking. He's making that car 3 lanes wide right now.
I think it's more of that his former teammate Timmy Weathers is cutting him some slack and not really forcing the issue right here.
I don't know. Weathers is not a driver to be patient. There's a reason why he is a champion. Did you see that 51 moving up a lane?
These two are former teammates. They're friends. And so if there's anybody that Weathers is going to get
car in the wall, Eugene Hawk.
Wall.
That's going to be a caution.
Huge damage.
Oh, and oh!
Man.
And the field jumbles into that.
This is going to be something to do with Austin Yoakum and Dylan Touchton. I think the iReal Motorsports cars ganged up on the 40 car.
That was calamity, if I could ever call it out. And let's figure out what went wrong here for Eugene Hawk. And this is going to be a simple one. All right, so we're here with Austin Yoakum. That's the yellow number 4 car. Heading into the corner, Eugene Hawk moves to the outside to make a move. And right here on the bottom of the apron, just cuts it down tight. The 4 moves up. This is a racing incident. Sends the 40 into the outside wall as a result of the contact. Blows that right front tire and destroys the suspension of the 40. And then everyone piled in after. Unfortunate.
And very unfortunate for everybody else that couldn't hit the brake pedal in time.
Cars on pit road, Ryan DeLusso and Tom Jones. DeLusso was involved in that incident. Justin Osborne also on pit road. In fact, actually Osborne, no, he is on pit road. He's not in the garage. And remember how I talked about why it's so important for Mariah to stay out? This is going to be the reason why. All those cars involved in that incident might be a chance for points down for the 83.
Well, Mariah just left pit road after another 8-minute stop.
Oh, man.
So.
Oh, yeah, she is only on lap 11 right now.
Yeah, she is 41 laps down.
Whew.
So
But
she's going to need some other cars having some rough days.
Gotta feel bad for Tom Jones here. The Tom Brad development. They did not need a race like this.
They were really looking forward to Bristol too.
Yeah, they had a really good run on the short tracks last season. They had their 1-2 finish at Kern County Raceway last season. That'll be a quick break. Be right back. Running an ad while we're under caution.
Why did our broadcast change?
Yes, the the fix that I found for OBS worked. So I don't have to do stupid bullshit to be able to see the broadcast now. Everything just works as it used to. Again, I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that.
I'm sitting here and all of a sudden it goes silent. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, that's true. You lose the sound, but
Yeah.
at least you can see the actual broadcast.
Oh, we just had 3 cars get to the pits.
What?
Caitlin, Rob, and Andy all just got towed.
What the fuck just happened there? Rob shows he's on track. But
Nope.
he's just a lap
Other
down.
Rob.
Other Rob.
Trent and Rob.
Alright, let's figure out what happened here.
That could have come from the caution.
Oh, okay. They went
yeah.
to pit road after being towed. That's what that was.
Noon. We are going upstairs soon.
Alright, well, welcome back. Lights on the pace car out, which means it's green flag next time around.
A huge line of Fords on the outside lane.
Oh, yeah. And some Toyotas on the inside with the mix of Chevrolets via Joseph Ernesto and Lizzie Wesley. All right, here we go. Wait for Aaron to take the green flag, and he's got it. Racing back again at Bristol. Saw that outside lane was key for the restarts here. Is that going to be the same case for Noed Patwary? And it looks like it just might. Holding strong against the 97, even though he might have some damage to that machine. 97 trying to hold strong on this Fastenal Ford.
It almost looked
62
like
car's got a lot of
Ernesto's.
grip, but he's going to follow victim to the 2 IRM cars.
This is the inevitable that I would say is these IRM Fords at a track like this. And at some point, that 97 is going to have to give him. He tries to cut the 4 off, but doesn't get to it. Looks like he will this time. No.
The 97 isn't going to want to give the 4 much room after the 4 ran to the 40.
It looks like he just tried to get to his fender again. 97 not happy with Austin Yoakum taking out Eugene Hawk.
Well, he knows letting the 4 by is going to end up laying the 69 in the window as
Oh, yeah.
and the 16. So
Noed resumes his lead. Oh, and man, Aaron is not having a good time with these IRM cars. Almost had out a wreck with Dylan Touchton in his RTR Mustang. I think he's just going to be happy now to have some breathing room on the outside lane. Nearly 3 wide behind. Starting to see Tim Salmon figuring things back out once again.
look who's slowly working their way into the top 10. Connor Meir. He fell back a little bit and has worked his way back up to a 13.
Trying to get up
Roughly
there.
right where he started.
David Walsh, he's moving up a ton. He's up 25 spots. His teammate to the 56 car. We've seen on race. They look the same, but different number, different driver. Ooh, Sammy Cobb almost caught the outside wall there. He got loose coming off of turn 4. Sorry, that was turn 2. And Onesto's starting to struggle.
Yeah, Ernesto must have used up his tires in that first run. Because he cannot get the grip he was on the inside lane.
Car coming down pit road. That's number 5. That's Dakota Cottle. Mr. DK himself. See some damage to the right side of that car. Heard there might have been an incident with the 75 or the 72. This might be the reason why the 5 car came down. Remember, we're still green at the moment. Oh, it looks like a 3 wide incident. Gets into Kino.
No.
Citadino already has crash damage from earlier.
And that's going to be even
hard
more.
hit.
So yeah, so they pulled that car off to the side. Citadino, unfortunately, in the garage, and they are working on the 5 on pit road. We stay green. And don't forget, also, nothing will happen at lap 112. We've already had cautions, so no halfway break. How about Dylan Touchton getting around his teammate? Looks like Quinones is going to try and do the same thing and follow the 69 through.
I think they're going to work together as Fords and try and not let this 97 back up there.
Speaking of the Toyota behind them, there's now a second one moving up quickly through the pack. That's the Ghost of Legend 29 of Connor Meir, who is now behind the 4 car. You were just talking about how quick he's looking. He's almost to the top 5.
Jonas has now got himself around Dylan Touchton, so it's now a reckless 1-2.
And Connor just passed the number 4 car.
Connor Meir does have fresh tires.
That's true, he does.
Yeah.
And also, that is the fastest 4-tire pit stop of the night that was done by that MGR crew. 14.08.
Say a lot of these cars are still on the original set that they qualified and
That's
started
right.
the race with.
That is the rule for the Premier Series. The set you qualify on, you also start the race on. Don't start with fresh tires in this series. Pat Murray still leads this thing. Got about a 1.5 second lead over Daniel Quinones, and he's getting up to lap traffic. There is Ryan DeLusso and that Chevrolet ahead of him. Nick Fountain has found his way back inside the top 10. He's battling with Tim Salmon.
I think some of these cars that we're seeing work their way into the top 10 are some of the pressure tires.
That is the case because we also have Jay Langelier, who also pitted on the same cycle with Nick Fountain and Connor Meir. Has also moved his way up, and he's trying to get around Aaron, who's starting to fall.
Sammy Cobb and Jay Langelier working together. Right now, I think Sammy Cobb should get the best of Jay with the outside. The 9 car's going to have to kind of settle in here. These 3 on your picture should all have fresh tires. Or fresher tires.
And it seems to be working out for them. I'm really impressed by Quinones right now. And
Slowly
nowhere.
been chipping away.
We didn't even point that out. It's a Reckless Racing 1-2 right now.
Yeah, Brett said it.
I saw
Oh,
that.
my bad. My B.
Dan is slowly chipping away at the lead, but
And so is Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is multiple laps down, but is
Yeah,
trying
he is, but he's
to-
going to get one of them back.
All right, yeah, one of them back.
11 laps. He'll be 10 laps down. He's trying to reel in that Dakota Coddle machine.
Another driver who's moving up quite quickly through the field after they did a pit stop, but it's a different strategy, is Caitlin Meir in the number 92. They did a 2-tire pit stop, but she's up 20 spots from where she started this race. Oh, and Dakota almost took out the 55
is
there. Oh, and
flying.
they're going to
Have it
go
right
in the
now.
wall.
I was gonna say Dakota was flying. or on the high side.
He's still, despite hitting the wall,
Yeah.
he has still got some huge speed out of that car.
He's got some big frustrations in that 5 camp right now. See him working on the 97 car right now. He's going to try to push the 3 wide again.
Wow, what a move.
That car is flying.
Apparently all Dakota needed to do to go fast was get into a crash, because this car is lighting it up right now, despite him being multiple laps down. That lead's gone down to about a second now. Connor has re-caught the back of this number 16 as he was working on Elias Nassar.
Quinones is free of Elias now. Connor should be free here in a lap or two. He's going to try to pass the 16.
And no one's catching a group of cars in front of him, so we'll see what.
Oh, good
Oh,
move on
16
Connor.
had issue. Saw now it just couldn't get off the corner. Connor Mears going to have preferred lane, and we'll see a new second place driver now. This is your point leader. Fighting with Aaron Douglas, and I think, who is he tied with? He is tied with Justin Osborne, who has had a really rough race to date. So we should see Aaron, who's in a fight with Dylan Young, should get into second in points as they stand right now.
Connor lost his streak of his first place, but he has still finished in the top 5 in everything this year. And no, it almost went 3 wide with lappers. Kreider finally got out of the way there with the 27 of Graziano. Kreider, one of the rookies, had some struggles early on in the race.
That's going to cut the lead in half, though. Connor Mears now within 3/10 of the 26.
Oh, just got blocked by Rob, though.
Yeah. Connor is going to be livid over the radio.
New driver doesn't really know exactly what he's doing around here. Connor's not going to get any help from the lappers. The 27 is Greg Graziano. Graziano and most of the guys who run the OPS don't have a very good relationship going right now. The 2 Rebel Racing cars in that series have been in the way.
They have. And Graziano, in the middle of the straightaway there. No respect for the 29 car.
I don't think either Graziano or Rick Johnson think that they've done anything wrong in that series.
No, I don't think that.
So see a little bit of bad blood between those two.
And look how hard he was driving to stay up with that 29, because after the fast is finally done, he moves away. That was pure spite out of Graziano. And here's the number 5, who has been cooking at full speed.
Rocket ship of the number 5.
What is...
If that car was on the lead lap, that would be scary.
It really would be, because he is tuning laps a half a second faster than the leaders right now. There goes the rocket ship. And this is going to be interesting, because look at what's ahead of Noed, a wall of cars. So this is going to be a matter of who can manage traffic better. And a rocket ship.
And we've seen Dakota push it 3 wide, bounce off the wall.
I think Connor's going to try to follow the rocket ship to get the lead here.
This is going to be interesting. This is where we see Bristol races won and lost. Connor following the rocket ship now goes to the outside for the lead. New leader, Connor Mayer in the 29.
Now it's finally going to be able to get to the outside of Jacob McMillan.
Connor
shouldn't have too much grief fighting the 7 car.
But it is a fellow Ford, and look who he's got behind him running for second, another Ford.
I don't see the 7 holding the 29 up.
He is not,
because
though.
of the eyes being cut of Reckless and TBD.
That's another thing to consider, but there is still the manufacturer alliance, and Connor struggling to get around the 7 car at the moment. No, it has caught the back bumper of the 26 car, 29 car. Yeah, he caught his own car. Really good announcing there, me.
Good job, you.
Mm-hmm.
I think now it's going to have similar issues getting around the 7 car. The 7 isn't all that bad.
No, it really isn't.
Ryan DeLuso's made it back onto the racetrack. That's 19 laps down on that 2 car.
Another rocket ship to deal with, and And that is the
The
tire
rocket ship's
fall
gonna
off.
try to force it.
Oh, Ryan getting rowdy.
Good
It's
save
not the
on
first time
everybody.
or the last time we're gonna see the two tire guys running into each other.
You know who did want to see that though? It's Connor, because now
Yeah.
he's got a 1.5 second lead over Noah because of that.
Many
It's gonna be a little
cars to
bit more
deal with,
damage.
though.
Connor
The
getting rowdy
33
with the
car
82.
is no longer a friend of the 29.
Speaking of the
Tier 1
rocket ship,
Motorsports switched hands. Rocket ship's gonna try to move on the 29.
Yeah, these fresh tires are really making it difficult for these leaders to stay out of their way.
Connor
Just
goes to the
backwards.
inside. He does not want to deal with the 2 car right now.
No,
That
Connor's
75
spotter
car's your
is-
outside pole sitter. He was about to go a lap down.
Good awareness, though, from Connor to move down there and stay away from the lap car that has all that speed and be patient to then pass the 75. That's very smart driving from Connor. And look who's in second now. It's Nick Fountain with Jay Langelier behind him.
And Nick Fountain might have been able to manage his tires a little better than the 29. The 29's been pushing. Nick Fountain's just kind of moved forward slowly. The Supreme Motorsports Toyota.
I got to point this out
Connor's
right
going to put
now.
a lap.
The highest Chevrolet in the field right now is Joseph Ernesto, all the way back in 16th position.
Well, there's only like 2 Chevrolet teams.
Okay, there's a little bit more than that. They are 16th, 17th, 20th, 22nd, 25th, 27th, and then laps down from there for the other 6 of them.
The Crastination cars are run by RPM as a satellite. And of course, Ernesto's got Team Motorsports and Benato Autosport.
Oh, they're 3 wide ahead. That was one of the other Chevrolets. Not Arthur, but Rob was running 3 wide with the 2 Rebel cars. 3 Rebel cars. They're all together right now. Where is Andy Bewley? In terms, oh, that's right. She also had
48 laps
incidents
now.
earlier. Yeah, that's right. The only one on the lead lap of that team is Kenny Bambura in the 82 and 26th.
Dylan Young is officially
New
ruled
leader.
out of this race.
Nick
Nick Fountain goes to the
Fountain.
lead.
Connor's
This might be
strong.
a time that we see sights set.
Oh, hold on to it. Hold on to it. They're not done.
Good
They're not
save
done.
by- Good save by
Oh.
Leslie.
That was
They
wild.
Keep it together.
Connor, no contact at all out of that from Connor Mir. He is keeping his car
You
clean.
can see the left front damage on Nick Fountain's car.
Oh yeah. That right side, the door panel is pancaked in. That
Who's in the
is
81
going to
car?
hurt
Is
him.
that Justin Franklin?
That is
It's Nick Cannon or Jeff Cannon.
Jeff Cannon.
Nick Cannon, Nick Fountain, Jeff Cannon, 2 teammates in the MTR cars in the Pro Series. It's a bit. It's a recurring mistake I make.
To the point where I thought Nick Cannon at one point was an actual driver. That has happened before.
No, Nick Cannon's a real person. Jeff Cannon's a race car driver.
Ah,
He's superhuman.
superhuman. Jay Langelier has caught the back bumper of Connor Mir's 29 car.
And he's stuck there.
He is stuck there.
Connor Mears trying to figure out how to pass. He has forgotten.
Yeah, he has not left the bottom lane.
I think he
being
has
there.
blown the tires off of that thing is the issue.
He watched Nick Fountain terrorize the field and decided that he was going to stay put.
He did, because now Nick Fountain...
He has graduated and now he's up top again.
He did
The real
graduate.
question is, when will these cars that have not pit yet start coming down pit road?
That's going to be an interesting question. However, the top 3 is all cars that did pit. So the tire strategy is working for all of those 6 drivers that are still on the lead lap
Everybody's
from that
going
pit
to need to
cycle.
pit again.
Yes.
Knowing the fuel length, everyone's going to need to pit again.
Yellow's out.
Oh, no,
Issues for the
no,
62. That is
Oh, that's not something anybody
unfortunate.
wanted to see.
Let's see here what happened to the number 62 machine. And it looks like...
It's another RT.
Oh,
Ireal
no.
Motorsports are terrorists today, and it's the same kind of
Same
incident.
incident.
Which
Is
really,
it
this
really,
was Eugene Hawk and Joseph Anesto's fault, but it's a disregard for the RTR or Ireal Motorsports cars.
Man, that's unfortunate. You can see that entire upper control arm on the 62 has dropped. And he's going to have to get towed back to the garage. See, he can't even turn going to the corner. And he's just going to pound that. Oh, he hit that wall hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's identical to the incident we saw at the 40 earlier today. It's the driver error. They need to mind that the IRM cars are there. They have more speed, so it's yet another mistake as we get a look at the outside world.
Everybody is currently on pit road. Everybody has come down except for Brandon Crasta. And Connor Meir also stayed out.
Oh, somebody's pulled their box in there. They've had enough.
Langelier stayed out. Crasta taking the gamble on this one. He's going to be the only car in the field to have not pitted yet.
Are they staying out?
They
or have they already
stayed
pitted?
out. No, they
No,
have
the
not
29.
pitted.
No, Connor did pit.
You are correct. Connor did in fact pit. He is cycled second. They pulled out another really quick pit stop. 14.25. That was
The 63
fastest.
is the one not to pit.
Sorry, excuse me. A 13.55 for zero reason on the lapped Arthur Xavier is our fastest.
Is the 63 on the lead lap? Don't believe that Brennan Cross is on lead lap. I think that he is a lap down car.
All right, Jeff Cannon, Lizzie Wesley, Joshua Lockhart, Jacob McMillan, Kenny Bambura, Arthur Xavier, Bradley Hughes will be joining the field back on the lead lap. And other wave rounds will include Rob Kreider, Gray Graziano, Elias Nassar, who actually will not be waved around. He is currently in the garage. Zach McAdoo and Dakota Cottle all will receive wave rounds. If you have 10 laps or more lap down, you do not get wave rounds. So those cars will be stuck in their positions. And while they do that, we'll be taking another break. Be back soon while the field got itself back up, and we'll go back to racing. Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. We're getting ready to go green here in just a second. We have some interesting strategy that has gone on. Brandon Crasta has decided he doesn't need tires. He doesn't need fresh fuel. He has not pitted yet so far in this 128 lap accumulated race. And he is your new leader as a result. Connor Meir will be joining us on the outside lane. He is your new leader after he won the battle off of pit road. He's got that preferred lane with the slower car on the inside, so everything here is going to go Connor's way. Pace car's down. We wait for Crasta. And we're back underway, racing once again. Lap 129. And yeah, that was going to be a no-brainer. That poor car for Crasta is going to be so far off the pace. And that could be a problem, too, as the race goes on. It could be a problem right here. And he gets into Jay Langelier. They're 3 wide behind. More contact is made. That was the 97 car.
Oh, man, not the 28. Don't hold up the 28. Get out of there, Deacon.
More contact being made. 97 gets into the 51.
Looks like they're all out unscathed for now. That 28 car is still stuck behind the 63.
More 3 wide action.
Got to find a way to disperse of them.
Oh, this might be dangerous with the 4 splitting between the 28 and the 97. They checked up there on the outside. There was bumper-to-bumper contact, and now 3 wide, multiple lanes back. This is a recipe for disaster. As we come off of turn 4, there are 3, almost 4 wide. How these guys are getting through without causing a pileup is a mystery to me. And thanks.
Amir continues to lead at the front. Nick Fountain in second. Chris Davis is in third.
Contact. Lindsay Wesley turns the 87 around. That's Arthur Xavier, and the caution flies again. I knew that they weren't going to be able to get through the entirety of that without some sort of an incident, and it did finally happen.
It was the other procrastination car that causes the accident. Yeah, Lizzie got a little bit overzealous. I don't know where the frustration came from, but she definitely had an issue with the 87 and took care of it.
Credit to Arthur Xavier for not completely destroying that car. He got it whipped around as it went into the corner. That could have been a lot worse for the 87. That car is not that damaged. But he still had to get towed.
Camping World sponsorship. What's up with the 29 car? What are they doing up the front right now? Are they pitting or?
Nope.
They're running the apron on this caution. The 28 is pitting.
29 on pit road. Yes, we are seeing pit strategy calls coming your way. That means Quinn Easel takes the lead, but it's Nick Fountain, Noah, Pat Worry, Timmy Weathers, Austin Yoakum, Dylan Touchton, Aaron Douglas, Connor Meir, Chris Davis, Langelaire. There's so many cars actually on pit road. This is an interesting strategy call from the field. I'm surprised everyone has come back down for tires.
I saw the 28 come down again too. 97's taking an awful long time.
Yes, that was actually a 2-tire stop from the 97, a 9-second pit stop. There was a large mix between 4 and 2-tire pit stops on this go-around. So who's going to be your leader now? I think if this is actually accurate, it might be Lockhart, but we'll see. It's going to cycle around. Don't quote me on that, because I believe it's a different driver. There is still cars cycling on and off of pit road. We'll see who is your leader here shortly. This is going to be a huge change in the strategy, thanks to a certain Crasta. And it's looking like, yes, the 75 may actually be your leader. And this was a car that was a lap down not too long ago.
It's a good strategy call for our outside pole sitter.
All right, it'll be Rob Kreider, Greg Graziano, Zach McAdoo, Dakota Cottle, and that'll be your cars getting waved around. That is it. All right, so those cars are being waved around. You see the field slowing up while they let them go by. Then after that, it'll be race time. And look who's also in second up there with that Ghost serial number 81, Jeff Cannon.
Almost the majority of the field came down to pit.
Yeah, that was
Connor Mears in the third position now, so
the only two that didn't was Lockhart and Cannon. They're on 10 lap old tires. And that's it for the lead lappers. Everyone else in the lead lap came down and pitted for either 4 or 2 tires. That's kind of wild. I'm kind of surprised about that. Man, this...
yeah, I think that the field is just trying to prioritize fresh rubber over track position at the moment. And then as more and more cars started piling down, it just looks worse for the top 2. But Chris Davis is able to get up to the 4th position, interestingly enough. It's going to be good track position out of the Davis Motorsports camp for Chris Davis.
I'm kind of perplexed about this. A lot of shuffling has happened in the last 20 or so laps. It's made this very interesting. I don't know what is going to go on in terms of position, but pace car is down, and Lockhart leads us away.
I think we're going to see more 3-wide racing because a lot of cars with different performance are kind of shuffled around the board right now.
I actually agree with you on that. It's going to be a little bit all over the place here, but Lockhart seems to have a pretty good eye on this restart. He's gotten away from the 2 Toyotas behind him. Connor Mears on 2 tires now, trying to get ahead of his teammate Jeff Cannon, but he is struggling on the bottom lane now. 3 wide behind, just as you expected. It looks like they're getting away with this.
This is really not going to be too dire of a situation between these cars. This guy's more mellow than normal.
Yeah, Connor is struggling with this 29 car right now. He is dropping.
Yeah, he's fighting the same car in the 06 of Chris Davis, and now he's got Tim Weathers on his outside. They can probably just settle in once the 55 is past him.
After that, it's going to be a reset and a confidence reset that's going to be needed for that number 29 machine. However, it is still the Binotto Sport number 75. This is the spin-off team of Team Motorsports. I believe this is running out of the Team International camp, but don't quote me on that. Ernesto, if you're watching, please clarify on that.
It is Team International, but it's now Binotto Sport.
This would be a hell of a Cinderella win for Lockhart. Of course, he was in the chase last season, so I guess it isn't too much of a surprise. He's out here and
well, this car doesn't really have the speed in the long run that the cars around it do, and so this is basically like a temporary thing. Remember, Lockhart did lose 25 positions in the opening run in this race.
That's true, he did, and check it out. Here comes Jay Langelier. He's working up here with Jeff Cannon now. Trying to get around this number 81 Ghost machine.
He's got to find a way to the outside of this 81 car.
He's going to try working on the inside. Nick Fountain not too far behind. Remember how I was talking about there wasn't even a Chevy in the top 15? There's now 2 in the top 10, and that is Deacon Jones, who's starting to work his way back up.
That 28 car is our last week's winner, trying to double that up with a top 10, top 5 run.
Was involved in a couple of wrecks earlier in this race, but they've done a good job of working this car back up. pulling the fenders out every time they came back down the pit, and he is on a 2-tire pit stop right now. And those 2 tires are going to be working for him.
Oh, they had just gotten 4 tires 10 laps before, and they were stuck behind the 63 car.
Jay Langeliers caught the back bumper of this number 75, going for the pass here.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see too much of a fight from the 75. It's going to know that Langelier is going to be faster, and it's been a long time since we've seen Jay out front of the field. It's a good sight to see for them.
It has been quite a fat minute since we've seen a haul from Jay like this. Of course, we always harken back to that race at Rockingham a few years ago. He was blistering fast on the outside.
And an unsponsored 09 Toyota back then. Now he's in just a regular 9 car for his brother's team, Reckless Racing. His former boss, Connor Meir, is going to try to find his way around Joshua Lockhart for second.
He's bringing another Toyota with him, as that looks like that was Tom Jones.
Thomas Jones.
That's not off of pit road. He is currently just struggling on the bottom. Looks like he caught the outside wall. There is heavy right front damage to that number 46. He's bringing it to a stop. Looks like he gets it going.
FARCA officials are going to tell him to bring it to pit road and park it.
Yeah, they're not having those cautions like they did last time out. He brings it down, stops it in there. So yes, they are going to work on that car. They're changing tires and going to work on that right front fender. Unfortunate break for Thomas Jones. Connor Meir almost back to the back bumper of this number 9.
You get a tale of 2 ends of the racetrack. The 29 car might be stronger in 1 and 2. The 9 car is just a little bit of an edge in 3 and 4. This 29 camp is trying to get it figured out.
Hearing official word from the number 40 crew down in the garage area, they are calling it quits. Same for the number 62.
Oh, they've already left.
Yeah,
Eugene Hawk wasn't about to wait for another ice cooler meltdown with Brett. And it's after one of his cars was the cause of it. That guy's gone.
So that leaves us with 29 cars on the lead lap and about 36 that are still in this thing. All right, lap traffic. This is a fellow Ford. Let's see what this does. Connor was really good at lap traffic on the previous run, and he's going to use Mariah as the pick to get around Jay Langelier to take back the lead.
Jay was hoping to get the bottom. He's been running the bottom for most of this run. He's more comfortable down there. It's why he's kind of sticking to it. But Mariah isn't obligated to move over. And in fact, in the driver's meetings, they'll tell lap cars to hold their line. It's the leader's job to move around them. We saw an issue with that in the Pro Series. Onesto was holding his line. Eugene Hawk kind of just mowed him down for it.
That did happen. Well, despite the initial drop, Lockhart seems to be doing his best to hold on to it. He's not really falling back through the field like he did in the previous run. He's doing a much better job. They must have made some adjustments on that last pit stop. The Benanza Sport Chevy looking good.
Yeah, it's better just to lose 5 spots than 25.
Hey, how about Makoto Kino was involved in a couple of incidents earlier in this race. She just cracked the top 10.
Something that the Tier 1 Motorsports camp really wants to see out of her.
They need this badly. Sponsorship and funding is very low. They were close to bankruptcy to start the season off.
Yeah, there's an imminent switch to Chevy coming from the new ownership. Tier 1 camp is trying to turn things around. They think they're going to get it going forward. They decided to keep Makoto. Oh man, these cars are starting to get a little bit antsy ahead of the 33.
And that 16 and 83 are very easy to confuse.
Yeah, Quinones is kind of stuck behind the 83 machine at the moment.
Yeah, he's going to continue to lose positions, but that's going to be great for number 33, Timmy Weathers.
Timmy Weathers has moved into second place.
Just got around number 9, who's struggling to get through this lap traffic. Chris Davis has even moved into 3rd.
We've seen Walsh Enterprise have long-time Whataburger sponsorship. That's dried up recently. And now this team, moving to 2 cars, is just trying to find any kind of strengths they can get. Hired a former champion. They tried to get new personnel. No Toyota help. No real big sponsor help. They're just trying to do it on their own. Chris Davis is going to try to go catch the 29. Saw him racing with the 29 at the beginning of this run.
That's going to be a tall order. 2.5 second lead at Bristol is monumental. That 29 car is gone right now. That could all change.
There was a race a couple years ago that Chris Davis dominated that was eventually won by John Hicks. But it's a track that he's familiar with.
Did you just mention the name to never be mentioned?
Yes.
No.
How dare you?
Well, nice to have you back in the booth. You missed Crasser Cause, the most absolute chaos that completely flipped the race strategy.
I saw. It's clearly not paid in a lot of favors, looking at who's in the high teens, low 20s.
Yeah, no, it has hurt those drivers pretty
After
bad.
they terrorized the Chevrolet camp, it's all right. It's payback. The Chevy got him.
None of it was their fault, though.
No, it wasn't.
They
their
were
fault.
holding.
No.
They were holding their inside line.
Oh
and
my
The
God.
Chevys are crowding.
Well, I mean, he is right. The Chevy's completely at a conscious disregard for track position. It's like, oh, a race car. I'm running into it. Oh, I can't figure out why I'm in the wall. Must be the Ford's fault.
The chance of a sweep for the 97 is very so far gone right now. However, in the Pro Series race, he was in this position about this time of the closing stages of the race. And you know what changed it? A very well-timed caution.
Well, he's currently trying to run into the 36.
Well, Lizzie caused the last caution.
Yes.
Maybe she can cause this one too.
It was
if
also
you just
dumping
make
one of
her a
Aaron's
little bit
cars.
angry.
Yeah. So
Yellow is out. Caitlin.
hey, I'm back. Hey, I'm back in the booth, by the way.
Oh, it's the 92.
Ooh, big damage to the number 92. And it looks like another exact same incident. And it's involved
Hey,
with
look,
another Ford on
another
the
Ford.
inside.
The Fords don't exist, man. They just blend in the racetrack.
This is the same style wreck for all of the cautions we've had, despite all of the incidents we've had.
Not
A
the Lizzie
3 wide.
Wesley accident.
No, not that one. True, not that one. And then, of course, just in
Oh,
the
the
way here.
leaders.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
gets
the
stuck behind
97.
Oh, the 15 of Quinizo.
Did anyone run into her is the big question. Looks like no.
Wesley wanted to.
Come on.
I saw the debate. The gears were turning.
Lockhart and Graziano are on pit road.
I don't like the way that car looks. That looks stuck.
Ryan DeLusso, lap down, coming down pit road.
We might have an issue on Lockhart. It doesn't seem like they are working too diligently on that motor vehicle.
Be running an ad here while we wave cars around. Be right back.
They did a 14.
We are back. Well, the ad's still running, but we are back in here. We got 2 solid lanes formed now. That bottom lane is rubbered in. The flag man's not waving the flag. He's just holding it up. All right, and the viewers are back as well. All right. So Connor Meyer leads this thing. Lights in the pace car are out, which means we're going green flag next time around. The wave rounds are still happening. We might have to call this off.
It's too late.
Nope, it's not. They fixed that. The pace car just goes through pit road.
No, it should have been too late.
Nope. It would have had problems. We don't want problems. So the restart was called off. There were still some cars waving around. Thought there was enough time for
Well,
that.
they took too long. It's their fault.
So we'll be bringing the pace car back out, and it'll be the 2 laps. The last of them have finally gone through.
Pace car's out of fuel.
And then we'll be restarting this thing.
No, they learned to have a fuel-efficient pace car after the OPS race.
All right, here we go. Trying again. Yeah, how is Krasta up here?
He pitted.
Well, yeah, but
But he got 4 tires. Everyone else got 2 tires. Yeah, and this is as I predicted. Chris Davis is going to give Connor Mears some grief.
actually, no. He only had 2 tires.
Timmy Weathers on the inside is trying to take second from Chris Davis. Timmy Weathers, I think, did get 4. He had a little bit more pace than Mir throughout the last run.
Everybody, all the way down to Brett Pritchard, got 2 tires. Some took extra
Timmy Weathers is
fuel.
going to lose a lot of spots right here. Dakota Kino's got some kind of an issue. Back in 6th place, lost it to Tim Salmon. Salmon was using the bottom.
Remember how I said a well-timed caution would be great for Aaron on a restart?
It's not going to do anything for him.
Lockhart just came down pit road and did a 3-second stop. So
Not enough fuel, then. That was what that issue would be. Not enough fuel.
It didn't look right. They kind of sat there for the whole caution. They came back out, so they might have suffered something on that 75 car.
It is possible. Kino catching up to the back of the 55. And it looks like Chris Davis is running down that number 29 car with number 9 right behind him.
Yeah, I think Chris Davis might be the most similar on pace to the 29 car. I don't know if he can beat the 29, but it seemed like we got glimpses when they were near each other that Chris was giving Connor some
He's
fits.
currently being given a hard time from Jay Langelier, an aggressive pass on the inside from Jay.
and Jay has his teammate Noah right behind him.
3 black and blue ovals behind the leading Toyota.
There are 40 laps to go, now 39. They're still trying to figure out a way to run down the 29 car. The pace between them is kind of stagnant at half a second at the moment. They have called it for the 92 car, which is rather obvious with all the damage that they suffered from the contact with the 77.
Brad Hughes, after getting a couple wave rounds, he's actually almost to the top 20 after suffering laps down and issues with
Tom Jones is helping him out.
He is.
Yeah.
He is clearing the way. It's actually 2 violent drivers next to each other right here. Tom Jones and Lizzie Wesley.
There's 3.
Oh yeah, there's Ryan DeLusso. The 3 tire guys are all together. Brad literally went all hell and backed out of that.
Hmm. He saw a 2 and a 46 on his inside. He's like, nope.
Two very different
No.
lines between these two
Lizzie
cars.
Wesley has just dived down pit road.
I think right as we went away, there could have been damage. Yep,
And
right front damage to that number 36 machine. Get tagged at the wall. And here comes David Walsh in as well. So these two may have gotten together off camera. Is he already coming back out? As well as
they
David
both
Walsh.
had 8 seconds, so
That would be
maybe
two tires. Two tires.
2 tires and a little bit of damage picks.
Still Connor leading this thing as we approach 30 to go.
Oh, no, I think people are coming in through for 2 tire stops.
Yeah, you
Chris
are
Davis
right.
And Aaron are in.
This is an interesting call. I'm
They
not
may
sure.
not have taken fuel for the entirety of the race.
They would
needed it.
they would just splash if that was the case. They wouldn't go for tires. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on what goes on for the rest of the field. But that is some risky strategy by the 4 cars that have come down.
I think
20
the drivers that wait too long are gonna lose their chance of winning this race
That could be the case
if
as
they
well.
have to pit. Sure would like to see the 28 come down to split the strategy. Or if everybody could pit and the 28 stays out, that'd be chef's kiss. The rocket ship blows past the 29 car. Not as much as the rocket ship as we've seen earlier.
No.
In stark
But-
contrast to the anchor that was the 63 on that one restart.
Yeah.
25 to go. Bristol Motor Speedway. Connor Mayer still leads over Jay Langelier, who was approaching the back bumper of this car once again.
That dog hungry.
No other car has came down pit road, so
We have Greg Graziano and Kenny Bombera in the top 10.
We do.
there's a lot of unsponsored cars in the top 10.
Once again, the 83 car playing the game in with this potential pass for the lead. Looks like
He's
it's
going to get stuck behind the 83 again.
once again, yes. We really have Keynote, Weathers, Salmon, Bombera, and Graziano in this top 10 to add it to what you were saying.
Yeah, a top 5 for Tier 1 would be amazing for that race team.
It's huge. And it looks like the 2 reckless cars are going to switch. And see what Noed can do to run down Connor. That is your defending series champion, Noed Patworry.
Oh, they're going to have an argument.
Yep, they're gonna battle back and
Oh.
forth and let Connor drive away a bit.
Connor loves to see that. $23 cars.
Is
in
it
the
presently making any headway on the 29?
He's gained a quarter of a second, but that's been about it.
You know who's not happy right now? Car that's sitting in 25th position right. Thinking more people would jump on the 2 tire strategy, and there wasn't.
Oh, but it was the timely caution.
Hey, that was a well-timed caution. Why they pitted? That's going to be an interesting question to the crew chief. Let's
Might
for
have ran
some
over some
reason.
Expo markers.
That's for some reason at the end of this race we see more cars come down pit road, but here comes the battle for the lead. A hard-charging Noed Patwery has caught Connor with 13 to go next time by.
Jay's right there as well, so.
To the outside here, it looks like he is going to be leading the lap at the stripe. Noed Patwery is your new leader. Connor's not going to be happy to see this. No driver wants to have a win slip away at the end, but the Rob Kreider is going to allow a chance for Connor to battle back in, but he gets the door slammed on him by the 26.
There might have been some slight contact there.
Noed's kind of struggling to get around 38. Kino is going to be joining this battle soon. Yeah.
Not hard to see Kino coming in a picture with the bright white and pink car.
Noed finally gets around the 38, but now it's going to be between the 9 and the 29, and Jay is just going to hold Connor in this position and allow Noed to get out of there. That is a team player move right here by Jay.
Go to Kino for third.
Connor's going to be fuming inside that race car.
Patwery working on Andy Bealey.
Kenny Bambura just passed Tim Salmon for 7th. Never mind. Kenny Bambura just passed. Never mind.
They're side by side.
Kenny
They're going back and forth.
5 to go. 5 to go. The expert markers 400K at Bristol Motor Speedway. Race number 3 of the season. And looking like this is going to be concluding with multiple Fords up front. Man, I would have been fooled. I almost said Chris Davis was making a pass for second. He is actually a lap down.
He's trying to unlap himself. He was one of those 4 cars that called that 2-tire strategy.
Right. Connor just kind of chilling after being passed from Kodo. Up 18 spots from where she started. All about Noed Patwery, though. White flag is out. One more lap for the Reckless Racing number 26.
Reckless Racing trying to go 1-2. Never mind. Makoto just got around Jay for second.
And Noed wins here at Bristol. Noed claims second on the final lap, just as Brett just said. It's Jay Landry.
And Noed finishes third.
I got that too. I was going to let it be.
Makoto Kino finished second over Noed Patwery, and then Jay Langelier finished third.
And Connor Meyer finished 4th, and Timmy Weathers will round out your top 5. As Jano Quinones, Kenny Membura, Dylan Touchton, Greg Graziano, and Tim Salmon is the rest of your top 10.
Oh, good old Timothy. Is salmon short for salmonella?
And Aaron Douglas comes home 25th.
Rest of your race results is as follows. Now, Brett Pritchard, 1 spot outside the top 10.
It's the best finish that car's had in like a season and a half. So
Brad Hughes did go a lap down there at the end, but still a respectable finish. The Tom and Brad development team. Both cars actually inside the top 35. Be a good points haul for them today. And a good chunk of cars did all DNF. And Mariah, who was the first car to be involved in an accident, stayed out and persevered. Brought it home in 37th. That is inside the points, where she was outside of it earlier.
I was able to pick up a couple spots.
That completes it. Well over 400 laps put down by the FARCA series tonight.
About 9 hours of racing.
It's pretty much. Alright, these results will be up on the website here shortly with updated point standings and all. Please don't forget to check on your cars. We are a few races away from the sponsors getting ready to complete their contracts. We're halfway through the first term. And next week we head to Sonoma Raceway. And
Feel bad for whoever uses this track next, because this broadcast booth needs to be cleaned.
Okay. Well, with that, we will see you guys in the next one.